hanging steady here this morning, and a good time for us to lighten things up a little bit because it's time on this Wednesday for Hump Day Humor.
Yeah, and I've got a few. Steve Martin, when we had that quote from him, it made me think. I know he's a funny guy, so here's a few others. I believe in equality. Equality for everybody, no matter how stupid they are or how superior I am to them. I like that. Hey, how about this? Talking about music is like dancing about architecture. Talking about, yeah. He said, I thought yesterday was the first day of the rest of my life, but it turns out it's today. And I like, here's one more. I like a woman with a head on her shoulders. I hate necks.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, today is National Weather Person's Day. So, a very cold winter. This is a rather lengthy joke, but a young First Nations chief in Canada, he's just taken over leadership of the tribe and wants to do the best for his people. It's autumn, and he tells them they should gather firewood for the coming winter, so they start to do that. But the young chief still has doubts. What if they don't stockpile enough? So he decides to call the Environment Canada office to see what their winter forecast is, and the meteorologist who answers the phone tells him, our indications are it will be a very cold winter. So the young chief is concerned and tells his people to get even more wood, which they do. And he's still worried, though, so he calls back the Environment Canada to verify the winter forecast. And the meteorologist tells him, we've just updated the winter forecast. It's going to be colder than usual, a very, very cold winter. So now the young chief is alarmed, and he issues an important directive to his tribe. It's going to be a severe winter. Gather and stockpile as much wood as possible. So the whole tribe springs into action and puts the maximum effort to collecting firewood. So the poor chief, nearly beside himself, calls Environment Canada one more time, hoping for some better news. I'm sorry, but it looks like this will be the worst winter on record, the meteorologist tells him. So he's despairing and curious, though, but he says to the meteorologist, how do you know this? And the meteorologist answers, well, the weather data is a bit unclear, but the First Nations people are gathering firewood like crazy.
All right, how about this one? The school called a woman and told her, your son's been telling lies. He sure is, she replied. I don't have any children. Instead of cleaning house, I just watch episode of Hoarders and think, wow, my house looks great. A dog walks into a bar and sees a guy walks into a bar and sees a dog playing poker. The guy is amazed that the dog is playing poker. Bartender, is that a real dog playing poker? The guy asked. Yep, real as can be, the bartender replies. Well, is he any good? The guy asked. Nah. Every time he has a good hand, he wags his tail. What do you get when you run into a duck and a cow? What do you get when you run into a duck and a cow?
And a cow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Milk and quackers.
Okay, all right.
You know, if I had a DeLorean, I would probably only drive it from time to time.
I like that one. Producer Tim, you got a joke for us?
Yeah, I'll give you one. This is an overworked wife. Husband asks, what's for dinner? The wife says, nothing. The husband says, we had nothing last night. And then the wife replies, I know, I made enough for 2 days.
That's good. I like it.
I'm visiting my daughter last night. I asked if I could borrow a newspaper, and she rolls her eyes at me and says, this is the 21st century. We don't waste money on newspapers. Here, use my iPad. I can tell you this, that fly never knew what hit him.
There you go. A bad limbo player walks into a bar. That's it. My mom was a radiologist. She met my dad when he came in one day for an x-ray. I wonder what she saw in him.
Police pulled me over one day and asked where I was between 5 and 6. I said, kindergarten.
That's good. That is really good. Oh,
I don't understand how a cemetery can raise its funeral prices and blame it on the cost of living. That doesn't make any sense.
Cost of living.
I don't understand.
When Big Peter McFlannel passed away, his wife wanted to inform all of his friends at once. She headed to the newspaper office and said, I'd like to place an obituary for my late husband. The man at the desk replied, all right, how much money do you have? She said, $10. The man says, that won't buy many words, but go ahead, write something and we'll see if it's okay. The woman wrote something, hands it over to the clerk, and it read, Peter McFlannel from Parkland died. Peter McFlannel from Parkland died. Feeling guilty about how brief it sounded, the clerk said he would give her the ad for half price and urged her to add more. She thought about it for a moment, then wrote a few more words down and handed the paper back. The clerk read it again. Peter Reed from Parkland died. Ford F-150 for sale. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Very good. Very good. Very nice. All right. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 350,000 times. You're probably a weather person.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
got
right.
that.
And one more, Steve Martin. I went to a restaurant that serves breakfast at any time, so I ordered French toast during the Renaissance.
The scripture tells us to keep